Number 1. San Diego Zoo penguin fitted with orthopedic footwear. A member of the San Diego Zoo's African penguin colony has been fitted with orthopedic footwear to help it deal with a degenerative foot condition. The 4-year-old penguin named Lucas has lesions on his feet due to a chronic condition known as bumblefoot, which covers a range of avian foot problems, the San Diego Wildlife Alliance said Monday in a press release. If left untreated, bumblefoot could lead to sepsis and death by infection. The zoo's wildlife care specialists turned to an organization called Therapore, which creates rehabilitative and assistive products for animals with special needs. Therapore created custom shoes made of neoprene and rubber to prevent pressure sores from developing when Lucas stands and walks. The penguin's problems began more than 3 years ago. African penguins have suffered a massive population decline and are listed as endangered by the International Union for Conservation of Nature. Number 2. Kenya's President William Ruto sworn in after divisive vote. William Ruto has been sworn in as Kenya's president. He narrowly won the August 9th election in East Africa's most stable democracy over longtime opposition figure Raila Odinga. The Supreme Court last week rejected challenges to the official results. Ruto had been the deputy to outgoing President Uhuru Kenyatta but had a bitter split with Kenyatta that left the two not speaking for months at a time. On Tuesday, the audience cheered as the two shook hands. Scores of people were crushed and injured as Kenyans on Tuesday forced their way into a stadium where William Ruto is being inaugurated as president. A medic said a fence at the Nairobi stadium fell down after people pushed it and about 60 were injured, though the number may rise. We had to treat some with minor injuries. Most of them were rushed to the main hospital in Nairobi, Peter Muyui said. There were no reports of deaths. People tried to dodge baton-wielding security forces. Some failed. I was beaten by the police after trying to get inside, said one witness, Benson Kimutai. Ruto narrowly won the August 9th election in East Africa's most stable democracy over longtime opposition figure Raila Odinga, and the Supreme Court last week rejected challenges to the official results. Ruto is taking power in a country heavily burdened by debt that will challenge his efforts to fulfill sweeping campaign promises made to Kenya's poor. With the transition, Kenya's presidency moves from one leader indicted by the International Criminal Court to another. Both Kenyatta and Ruto were indicted over their roles in deadly 2007 post-election violence, but the cases were later closed amid allegations of witness intimidation. The August election was peaceful in a country with a history of political violence. Chaos erupted only in the final minutes when the Electoral Commission publicly split and prominent Odinga supporters tried to physically stop the declaration of Ruto as the winner. Number 3. Ukrainian troops keep up pressure on fleeing Russian forces. Ukrainian troops piled pressure on retreating Russian forces on Tuesday, pressing a counteroffensive that has produced major gains and a stunning blow to Moscow's military prestige. It was not yet clear if the Ukrainian blitz in the northeast after months of little discernible movement could signal a turning point in the nearly 7-month war. But the country's officials were buoyant, releasing footage showing their forces burning Russian flags and inspecting abandoned charred tanks. In one video, border guards tore down a poster that read, "We are one people with Russia." Momentum has switched back and forth before, and Ukraine's American allies, for one, were careful not to declare a premature victory since Russian President Vladimir Putin still has troops and resources to tap. In the face of Russia's largest defeat since its botched attempt to capture Kiev early in the war, Defense Ministry spokesman Igor Konashenkov said troops were hitting back with massive strikes in all sectors. But there were no immediate reports of a sudden uptick in Russian attacks. Late Monday, President Volodymyr Zelensky said his troops had so far retaken more than 6,000 square kilometers, 2,300 square miles, an area more than twice the size of Luxembourg in a matter of weeks. Among the latest claims, Ukraine's border guard services said the army took control of Vovchansk, a town just 3 kilometers, 2 miles, from Russia seized on the first day of the war. Russia acknowledged that it has withdrawn troops from areas in the northeastern region of Kharkiv in recent days. Reports of chaos abounded as Russian troops pulled out, as well as claims that they were surrendering en masse. The claims could not be immediately verified. Ukrainian Deputy Minister of Defense Hanna Malia said Kiev is trying to persuade even more Russian soldiers to give up, launching shells filled with flyers ahead of their advance. By the way, this voice, the one you are currently hearing, was generated using an AI text-to-speech program online. Check out the link in the description if you are interested in learning more. As always, if you found the information in this video at all useful, hit that like and subscribe. And we hope to see you next time.